What is going on, people? It's your boy 3MG here, back with another video. And I just want to say shout out to my boy Bless for showing me this article and just letting me know everything that's been going on as far as Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed. So we've been seeing Assassin's Creed releasing every year up until this year, where we won't see one. We will see a movie, but there won't be an Assassin's Creed this year. And we figured that there would be a sequel releasing 2017. Well, guess not, because the CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot, told GameSpot that we shouldn't necessarily be expecting a sequel in 2017. And I'm gonna just read here and quote, "What we saw in the development of the next Assassin's Creed was that we had an opportunity to take it to another level. So we said we'll take all the time that it takes to make the experience fantastic. It was feasible because we have other games. There's a huge potential in this game that revolutionizes the IP. So we said let's make sure we change our model so we have more time and that we can bring back a greater experience. It will be back when it's ready," Guillemot continued. "That's when I feel we'll have something there." Now, I'll just, skip ahead of some of the other stuff that was being said, but why that makes me feel better, and why I'm happy that they're going along with this and going this route, and I really hope that other studios go this route, is simply because Assassin's Creed has been destroyed in my opinion. Not saying the story, even the story actually. The story has been a little bit more bland. It has not been how it used to be. There's no build up for your abilities, how the previous and old Assassin's Creed games have been. And on top of that, the game's optimization is just poorly recognized, being that it was literally a game launching every year and it was just not performing well across all consoles and platforms. I'm telling you, the PC, Xbox One, and PS4 version was going through frame drops up to like 3 frames a second. It was that unplayable. It was that disgusting. And to see that a lot of people were buying it, and there's a huge fan base for Assassin's Creed, this yearly release was not working. Then we found out that some Assassin's Creed was just literally reskins of another game, and these yearly releases was that easy for them to launch because they had a set story, they remodeled characters, but in the same world, and just reskinned everything. So people felt used and abused, and the fact that we were spending our money is kind of bullshit. But I'm glad that they're taking a toll, because Assassin's Creed is one of the best franchises out there for years now, and I like that the CEO of Ubisoft is deciding, you know what, let's take all the time, and you guys can take all the time you want to develop such a great game and really change up the model. So I'm actually hyped to see, and no time soon at all we're gonna get any information, but I'm hyped to see where they're gonna take this next Assassin's Creed and what's really gonna happen, because I don't want this game to go down a route where the games were once great and then it's going down to a shithole. In addition to Assassin's Creed also being, held back, and now they're gonna fully work on the game from the ground up, hopefully, and really work on this game, make it more massive and amazing, or at least we hope. Ubisoft's editorial VP Tommy Francois told IGN that it was both Assassin's Creed and Far Cry games that are in development and aren't committed to be releasing in 2017. And quoting here, said, "We believe alpha for these games needs to be 1 year before release, and as explained, we're trying to achieve that super fucking blunt game. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. This is a goal we're trying to go for. Alpha 1 year before, more quality, more polish. So this means biting the bullet and not having an Assassin's Creed game or a Far Cry game in 2017. Fuck it." That's literally what the person said. Now, also clarifying what's the alpha, he says he's not saying a public demo such as what Ubisoft recently did for For Honor. He explained that the alpha is just saying we're getting stuff done but leaving time to polish and innovation. So this is basically how I'm gonna break it down for you guys. With Assassin's Creed and Far Cry being one of their main games in Ubisoft, we get yearly releases for Assassin's Creed. So at what point do you leave room to test for bugs? Do you leave room to test for any, actual errors in game? Do you make sure that the game's fully polished? If the game is being developed, do you get the same team to work as well as play in the game? There was never any time. So they're trying to say we're really trying to commit to at least having a year on just really making sure the game is polished. So even though they're finished with the game, they're going to take so much more time to make sure that the game is innovative, make sure that the game works out the box, make sure that there's no bugs, no glitches, and make sure that the game feels rich and new. Because the problem with these games from Ubisoft were that they were all reskinned. Far Cry Primal was literally using the map scale or reskinned of Far Cry 4, and that's a problem. Now, we're not used to seeing any yearly releases on Far Cry, but even though it was a 2-year release, there was definitely not that much time on Far Cry Primal because it released in March, and normally Far Cry games release in November as far as I'm used to remembering, or at least I noticed. And to release in March, that was a bit too much of a short period of time. So I don't know necessarily what's going on with that, but hopefully they work on that game as well. I want all developers and studios to do that and to work on their games. I think Call of Duty should have definitely done that, even though they have a 3-year span. And in fact, you know what, let me take that back. I give them credit because they have teams working on games up to 3 years, so that gives them a long gap, even though their game still feels the same. I think that's by choice, not by time. I think that's really by choice that they want their game to still feel the same because it caters to a bunch of people. But as far as Ubisoft and I'm concerned, I'm really happy that they're deciding to take this route, because to me, I've always said that Ubisoft has some of the best games and franchises. It's just unfortunate enough that their games have been lackluster. They don't perform well. The optimization is very terrible. And I'm really hoping for games like Steep, For Honor, and even South Park's The Fractured Butthole, which has been delayed. Hopefully those games, and even Watch Dogs too. Hopefully these games are true successors and they just do not fail the market, because that's very upsetting to see their biggest franchises, Ubisoft being one of the top in the game, just going to shit because of these quick releases, these buggy games, and they're really groundbreaking and they're really unplayable. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think this is something that's good? Once again, I know there are a lot of people that's very big on Assassin's Creed, even very big on Far Cry. But what would you rather take? A yearly release where there's bugs and glitches and maybe even a mediocre story? And the sad thing is it takes place in such amazing time periods, iconic and historic time periods, and they just really can never land a quality game. Or would you be like, you know what, fine, there's always going to be games around. Take your time on a video game and we'll see you guys like a 2019, 2020. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you're new to the video, subscribe, like, and I'm out. Peace.